campus knowing the parking challenges. And my special thanks to all our campus and community leaders for their attendance here today. I would also like to express my appreciation to all the business alumni and college staff who helped organize this event. If you're out there, can you please wave your hand and recognize? Thank you. Many of our alumni are business leaders and community champions out there who care very much about the future of our community. Today's session, Just the Facts, Folks, a business approach to city finances, is brought to you by our alumni in collaboration with the college. This event is not meant to be a debate. The goal is to provide a fact-based presentation on the realities facing our city budget, possible strategies that have been discussed for funding the city, and to allow for a respectful question and answer between the audience and the panel. We recognize that there are ballot initiatives related to funding, but the university, the College of Business, and the College of Business Alumni Organization will remain neutral on these ballot measures. So neither Dr. Tom Zwirlein nor Dr. Penny Culbreth-Graft will answer questions about ballot issues. We really want this to be fact-based. To quote our chancellor, it's imperative that our faculty, staff, and students demonstrate that inquiry linked to civility leads to an unsurpassed depth of understanding. In the spirit of that statement, my hope is that we'll display professional respect for each other as we go through the session. And please help us make this program run smoothly, because then we'll be encouraged to do more of these sessions. Because I think this is our responsibility to do these sessions, but we want to make sure that we do it in a civil manner. You do realize we had to move this event to this bigger lecture hall because of the unexpected response we had for this event. In respect to everyone's time, as well as to allow for a class to start right after the session, we will end today's session promptly. I know this debate can go on forever, but we will end promptly at 9 o'clock. So I do request your cooperation. As soon as it strikes 9, wherever we are in the discussion, we're going to stop there and request that we vacate this lecture hall so we can continue our mission. And you're welcome to stay in the building, visit in the atrium, enjoy the wonderful facility, and we'll be happy to show things off here. I do want to say one thing before I hand this off to Jane, that we are bringing you here to find points of unity rather than points of division, because I know we all care about our city and its welfare, and that it should be a beautiful place for all of us. It's just how we make that happen. Now it's my pleasure to invite Jane Hammoud, the chair of the College of Business Alumni Leadership Team, to moderate the program. Jane received her MBA from the College of Business in 1998 and is retired as the executive director of Pikes Peak Partnership. Jane, thank you.
Good morning. It's really a pleasure to be here, and we are really fortunate to have Dean Reddy invite and allow the community to be involved in an educational event here at UCCS. UCCS is such a treasure in our community, and I'm proud to lead the Alumni Association here. The format for this educational event will be, we will introduce our two speakers, Dr. Penny Culbreth-Graft and Dr. Tom Zwirlein, and each speaker will have 10 minutes. I will, after 10 minutes, stand over here so they know their 10 minutes is up. We do want to keep this on time, both because we want to have you out of here by 9 o'clock for the class, but more importantly, so you have time to ask questions, because we think your questions are really key, and certainly they need to know what your questions are. After the presentation, the questions that we will ask questions, we will have a roving microphone. I will be calling on you individually. We will ask you to keep your questions succinct. We will ask the answers to be as succinct as possible, again, so as many people can ask questions as possible. We also will make sure that the questions are focused on the issues at hand and not on the ballot issues, which the college does not want to address at this point in time. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you first Janet Suthers. Janet is the chair of our of our community outreach team, and this community outreach team was the group that put this together. Janet is the co-executive director for the Colorado Springs Leadership Institute, and she received her MBA from the College of Business as well. So Janet, she will introduce herself.
Good morning, everybody. We are pleased today to have two experts for our crash course in City Budget 101. Our first lecturer is Dr. Tom Zwirlein, Professor of Finance at the College of Business. Tom, would you stand up and be recognized? Dr. Zwirlein served on the City Sustainable Funding Committee, which met for over a year to develop and implement fiscal sustainability policies to support core services for the City of Colorado Springs. Dr. Zwirlein served on the Revenue Subcommittee, where he studied options for taxes and fees on everything from auto rentals to cell phones to services to medical emergency response fees. In addition to his service on the City Sustainable Funding Committee, Dr. Zwirlein is the director of the Southern Colorado Economic Forum, which is having their economic summit on Friday, October 30th from 7 to noon at the Antlers Hotel. The public is invited to that event. However, in addition to his extensive expertise in finance and the city's affairs, his real claim to fame is that he taught me how to calculate net present value and internal rate of return. And that was no small task, okay? Our second speaker this morning is Dr. Penny Culbreth-Graft. Penny, would you like to take a stand? Okay. Penny joined the Colorado Springs community in January of 2008 and immediately became a star on Channel 18, the city's public information TV channel. Penny is also a lecturer at the UCCS School of Public Affairs. She has a doctorate in public administration and extensive experience in management of several California cities, ranging in size from 12,000 to 1.2 million. Upon her appointment as city manager in January of 2008, she immediately began an in-depth study of the budget and taxation policies that are driving the city's financial health. So deep and so comprehensive was her analysis that one council member commented, "Gee, we didn't have these problems before you came here." Thanks to the work of Dr. Culbreth-Graft, our community is learning that the seeds of financial crisis have been here for quite some time and have now blossomed with our recession. We are honored that Dr. Culbreth-Graft has taken time from her extremely demanding schedule to educate friends and alumni of UCCS this morning. First, Dr. Zwirlein.
Well, thank you, Janet. And yes, I do remember you in class. You were a very good student. I also remember, I think you called me a couple years after you graduated and asked something, and you thought I had forgotten you. Well, I don't forget my good students, so I've always remembered you. Well, thanks for inviting me today. I'm going to kind of set the stage, and I have two objectives. I want to briefly talk about city budget and kind of how we got where we are, from my perspective. And then I want to move on to the Sustainable Funding Committee and talk about that, because I think the effort of the Sustainable Funding Committee was just excellent. It came out with a 300-page report that the City Council has to chew through now, and I think there are a lot of good ideas for the Council to think about as it deliberates on finding long-term solutions to the problems that we're in. So let me pull something up real quick. And we'll get going. First, here's the breakout of the city budget, and this was probably from last year. And the one thing that we immediately noticed from the Sustainable Funding Committee, and I think it's obvious to everybody, is that we really have a one-legged stool. We're very unbalanced in our tax collections. Many municipalities around the country are a lot more balanced in regards to property taxes and then also fee-for-service activity. We are not balanced in the city of Colorado Springs. Some